full worm moon. I can show you better than I can tell you. You're on the farm at the Shamba ATL, pulling up some native plants, clearing a bed so that we can put some more seeds in the ground. And all we see is just worms jumping everywhere. Look at them. Just look at them. Everywhere. Of course, the worms love these native plants. Right? Because native plants, the fact that they're indigenous to this soil, look at all these worms, mean that they come with something that is complementary to the soil. And if they're complementary to the soil, they're complementary to the ecosystem, they're complementary to the earthworms, which are some of the most important entities on the planet. You see? So as we pull in, all we're seeing is just worms, jumping. Indication of a fertile soil. Not much we need to do here with this soil. To put some more food in. This was our sunflower bed last year. And of course, this year, the expansion is on, so the sunflower is going to be everywhere. Through the powers of the Most High. But the indigenous people have given us a wisdom when it comes to the names of all these different moons. And it's based on what is happening in the ecosystem at the time. And as we know, as above, so below, as below, so above. So if it's happening in the earth, for instance, and you're seeing now why it is called a full worm moon, because this is the time of year when the worms are coming back up to the surface. Look at them. I mean, just look at them. You gotta just scan the bed as I uncover these native plants, and I'm gonna leave them alone too. The birds are out there looking, waiting for me to move away and go get some food so they can come and get some of these worms, right? But the point is that now it's a good time for us to study, but what do worms do? What is the function of worms? Because that also gives us a clue as to our most appropriate behavior in this particular juncture of the year, in this season, right? So it's not just to say, this is the full worm moon, so let's expect a spectacle of worms. Or it's the full snow moon, or it's the full flower moon, or it's the full cold moon. So let's just expect some cold weather. It's an indication of how the human reality evolves and functions as well in its optimal state. Right? Quite simply, that's all we wanted to share with you. So as our partner Queen Yen was teaching in the OU ministry class, sharing some reflections on the energy of this particular moon, especially as it relates to relationships, as it relates to love. Look at all that. The meditation was that she didn't say it in this way, but my interpretation, it took me right back to Rumi the poet, who said quite simply, your task is not to seek for love, but to seek for all the barriers you've built against it. And that's because love is the default setting. Love is there for us in abundance, right? Love is what we wake up to, just like our task is not to seek for oxygen when we wake up in the morning, but maybe to move the pillow from over our nose or clear up our respiratory system. Something that, it's got to be some barrier that we have built to the oxygen, because the oxygen is there for us in abundance. See? We want to keep it short and simple. And encourage everyone to come on out in nature today. The full moon gets ripe. It comes to its fullness this evening, I think about 8 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, Eastern time. So what I'm out here doing, preparing at the shamba, is some beds that I'm going to plant some seeds in. And these are going to be seeds that germinate very quickly, but they're specifically seeds that grow above the ground. Look at all this. It's dandelion everywhere, but that's a whole nother conversation. I want to keep this video to 7 minutes, 7 digestible minutes, right? No pun intended. So I'm just preparing the land by moving all of these things out of the way that are barriers to the seeds growing. But even these so-called barriers have played a very important part in the cultivation. As these worms are doing, of the soil, in the preparation of the soil, in the restoration of this soil, right? So even, like they say, all things are of God, even evil for the day of wicked. Now, nothing evil about none of this right here. And we understand metaphysically that has some deeper connotations than like the angel and the devil on your shoulders, like the cartoons used to show us. The whole point is, even things that may seem unfortunate or seem like barriers are here for our good if we but knew. So let's keep it simple. Let's cultivate. This is the full moon. We have a few hours where the energy is ripe to plant seeds that grow above the ground, and you'll be harvesting those seeds throughout the summertime. And also be mindful that in Atlanta it may get to be cold again. So as you plant, don't hesitate to plant, because shoot, it could be cold in June based on the messed up weather that these people in their error thought are causing in creation. So instead of hesitating, just put a prayer of protection that serves like a warm blanket over those seeds in their germination period, in this tender time, just like our mamas pray over us, and we still out here moving through based on the effectiveness of our mama's prayers. Ashe? Plant some food today. Touch the ground. Touch the soil. My daughter told me I need a pedicure. I guess she gonna pay for it too, or she gonna do it. I'm just showing y'all the pollen on the ground and the fact that it's very comfortable out here to touch the soil barefoot. Grow some food. Seek not for love, seek the barriers that you've built against it, and let love arise in I and I and I. Free the land. Free the land. Free the land by any means necessary. And what a joy to find out, to rediscover that one of the most necessary means and the most effective means is by loving ourselves. Ashe. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and love be unto you, yours. One heart.